All right, cool. Close that out. Okay, so here we are. It is 2:10. I only have, it looks like 15 minutes. I was gonna try to keep this going for closer to 30, but I may have gotten, what? Distracted. And actually, more so was just deleting space off my phone so I could reinstall YouTube, because I've deleted the majority of apps off my phone so I can make room for pictures and videos of my kids and dogs. There's many duplicates. Anyway, there's a whole realm of places we could go that are areas of my own life that need organization. And that's kind of what brings us here today, right? I'm 42 now, okay? I've got 2 kids, beautiful wife, and the kids are beautiful as well, and 3 doggos. And I've just gone back to school, which would be, it'll be my, if I finish, it'll be my 3rd degree. So an associate degree and a bachelor's degree I have, but in completely unrelated things, but it would also be, I think I was trying to count it up, my 7th declared major, I think. Yeah. And I have tried to start multiple idea type businesses. I have started 2 funds, the Bella and Franklin Foundation and the Mahini Scholarship Fund, a humble hard worker scholarship, and those have done a couple things. The first scholarship was given out this year. It's exciting. The team Bella and Franklin, the Bella and Franklin Foundation, has only given twice. I'd like to do it every month, but we don't have enough money coming in. And I have helped several different nonprofits get, or got people that have ideas trying to start nonprofits, doing some communications type work for them for free, of course. Usually end up sometimes spending my own money to help other people in some idea that it's going to come back to me some way, and it usually doesn't. Let's see here. I've moved, I don't know how many times. I try to figure out how many different jobs, but the jobs come from, I think the easiest way to say it is all the way from teaching preschool, as a Marine, a garbage man, a maximum security corrections officer, helping kids in art studio. Let's see here, acting, voiceover, author. Let's see here, worked up at the mountain, as a lifty, sales rep, product tech, and the list really just construction, tree trimming. Oh my gosh, I loved being on an arborist crew. I was not an arborist, I was on the grounds crew. I actually loved that job. And yeah, they just continue to vary, right? So I'm realizing that as because I have been diagnosed with PTSD, a lot of it has to do with my brother's death in the military. Anybody that knows me knows that story, and chronic depression. And when I'm sitting here thinking about the whys and the whats and the hows, I've been realizing that a lot of the things that maybe when we've been trying to treat or manage PTSD, and chronic adjustment disorder, that we've been kind of missing the fact that all of these different things going on and all of these different ideas and all of these now I'm just moving this way and I'm putting into this, and just leaving my next idea, and then just letting that flutter, letting the money that was invested in it just turn into nothing, but a net loss. and letting anyone around me that was supporting me feeling like, okay, this guy's never going to follow through on anything. And now that I'm older, now that I have kids that depend on me, a wife that depends on me, dogs that depend on me, and now that my family, like my parents are older, they're needing me, and I'm still like in this time frame of, I'm gonna do all these things. I can do all these things that I've set out to do. I can still finish them all because I have time. And I've got this like weird concept of time, how I feel like time flies so fast, but yet also I somehow feel like there's so much left to do these things, and then time is running out, and it's just hitting me like that's where my bigger depression's coming in, and that's where my inner critic and inner voice is really attacking me, saying you're never gonna do these things. This is never gonna happen. Like, and it will just get right into it. Like the really nasty voice is like, you're better off gone, right? Suicidal ideation stuff that just says, only going to continue to live like this forever, and you're just going to bounce around, and you're going to have all these ideas that in the moment feel like that is the answer, and then you're just going to fail your family, fail your wife, you're going to fail your kids, you're going to fail your parents, you're going to fail your friends, you're going to fail those that have supported you through the Bella Foundation and Mike's Foundation and just that entire story, and you're going to continue to make new relationships and then overcommit and then fail those commitments and then make it just, the legacy is going to be someone who maybe could have done something great someday if they only could have just got their shit together. And I'm like, holy crap, like I've said that I have undiagnosed ADHD or ADD, ADHD. I'm learning that I thought that they were two separate things, but if I believe correctly, because I'm learning it, so we're all like learning together. Anyone who's following me, following this journey, you already know, right? You may already be here being like, yeah, Rob, we've known you've had this for a long time. And if I say things that are wrong or misinformation and you have better information about it, please feel free to educate me. I'm here to learn. And that's why I wanted to start reading this book. All I have done is read the very first page, and I was like, because I posted a while ago about reading Codependent No More. I made the joke, I've already a current joke saying, well, I have Driven to Distraction and Codependent No More, but I'm just, I can never concentrate enough to get through this book through Driven to Distraction, and I really need someone else to read Codependent No More with me. And all I did was post about the Codependent No More part, and people were like, well, read it. Let's read it together. And when I read my book, A Dog Named Beautiful, a few years ago on lives, people were like, keep reading. Like, what's your next book? Like, you can read somebody else's book. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. What book should I read? And I thought it was going to be maybe one of my collaborative writers' book, Marcus Brotherton. He's got a lot of amazing war, biographies that he's helped write, and many bestsellers. And I've been waiting to figure out which one would it be, and then just where I'm at in my life. This is like where we need to be. So this is where we are, and that's taken. Okay, so this has taken almost 10 minutes. We can push it. We can push it to read from 10 minutes from here. Okay, ready? So again, this is Driven to Distraction by Edward M. Hallowell, MD, and John J. Rady, MD. If you notice, this book is actually beat up and all gross. I've had it for 10 years almost. Yeah, 10 years almost. I got this from my stepmom, right? And like I said, I've read the first page. So here we are. We're gonna go do this, okay? And what's funny is I just got a message from someone that says, am I to remind you to mail something? And that was a gift that I got for someone that I said, hey, I need to mail you something. I have a collection of gifts that are strewn out through like storage in my place and back at my mom's house, of gifts that I have collected along my travels with the intention to send to somebody, and then they just get left in a place that I don't even know. And so that's just funny that popped up. And again, that's why notifications are to be turned off. Okay, so driven to distraction. Recognizing and coping with attention deficit disorder from childhood through adulthood. So we're going to read the preface, okay? A personal perspective. I have attention deficit disorder, ADD. I discovered I had ADD when I was 31 years old, at the end of my training in child psychiatry at the Massachusetts Mental Health Center in Boston. And real quick, I just want to say that this book was written, I think, 95? I think that's important. So especially if we're talking ADD and ADHD, because there may be some more outdated stuff besides just the label that's in here. Again, real quick, I have not been officially diagnosed. I'm going to say that. But I mean, I would put giant money that that's where I sit. Now, again, that's why it's so important that we're having this conversation right now, is because when I said, hey, I shared on Facebook the other day, who has been diagnosed with adult ADHD in life, and did it help you beyond medication? And I had a resounding like, oh, we got to talk. Okay, so many things changed for me. But then there was a few people like, bro, don't put your kids on medication. It's all a lie. ADHD isn't real. We all get a little distracted sometimes, and I use apps. I make sticky notes, and I'm like, yeah, those are definitely things that need to be put into place. But again, how much has your distraction completely uprooted your life? Like, how many jobs have you quit that you've been good at, that you're just like, mentally, I cannot stay in this anymore. I will go insane. This path has shown up, and this is what I must do. And how many relationships have you ended that way? How many times have you moved? How many horrible financial decisions have you made with that? Oh no, this is. That's where ADHD becomes, a disorder, when it like causes such disorder to your life that you can barely operate. So again, that's why this is important, because we need to talk about this being real. And I also need to get my diagnosis officially so that I can speak like, well, hello, I'm officially ADHD, and try not to do exactly what I've talked about doing, which is try not to just jump all in and then make ADHD my personality. Like, well, hi, my name is Robert. I have ADHD. Just like PhD on Kugler, ADHD. Nice to meet you. Okay, so let's get back to this, and then now we've only got 6 minutes. Okay, these next ones hopefully will go faster because I won't be doing so much. So thanks for sticking along this long. I appreciate it. Here we go. So we're back to one of the authors. It doesn't say which one's talking first, but they found out that they had ADHD while they were in psychiatry. Okay, here we go. Or psychiatry education. As my teacher in neuropsychiatry began to describe ADD in a series of morning lectures during a steamy Boston summer, I had one of the great aha experiences of my life. There are some children, she said, chronically daydream. They are often bright, but they have trouble attending to any one topic for very long. They are full of energy and have trouble staying put. They can be quite impulsive in saying or doing whatever comes to mind, and they find distractions impossible to resist. So there's a name for what I am, I thought to myself with relief and mounting excitement. There's a term for it, a diagnosis, an actual condition, when all along I thought I was just slightly daft. So also then this comes back to childhood stuff, to where I gripped my desk in elementary school, gripped it, trying to hold myself to it to stop myself from running out of the classroom. School was torture for so long, and it really wasn't until I went out football, and I feel like that's also it's going to come up in here. That, like the structure of football, the belonging of football, the purpose, the team, the identity of football helped me with other things in my life. And then my grades got, better. So many things in life got better. And then I joined the military, and the structure of the military did the same. Been out of the military for over 15 years now. Whoa, old man. So much of... I believe, like, if I was, where would I be today? Like on a singular path that I was held into. Okay. So, as the lectures progressed, I devoured I could read on the topic. Not only did I realize that I had ADD, but I recognized the syndrome and the behavior of several members of my family as well, which made sense since genetically influenced. Then I heard Dr. Paul Winder, a pioneer in the field, give a talk, and soon after I read his book. I felt as if a boulder had been lifted from my back. I wasn't all the names I'd been called in grade school: a daydreamer, lazy, an underachiever, a space shock. And I didn't have some repressed unconscious conflict that made me impatient and action-oriented. Action-oriented, holy cow. Yeah, I can just, focus when action is happening. And then it's easy to seek those things out, because then you're forced to, in a way that you're not thinking of other things. It's like mountain biking, paddleboarding, probably more intense things, skiing for one, like snow skiing, downhill snow skiing, are all things that I'm drawn to take my focus. Also driving really fast. Like, I would love to try like there's people in my family that undoubtedly have undiagnosed ADHD as well, and I think a couple are probably diagnosed. I'll have to chat with them. What I had was an inherited neurological syndrome characterized by easy distractibility, low tolerance for frustration or boredom, a greater than average tendency to say or do whatever came to mind, called impulsivity in the diagnostic manual. How many times have if you have ADHD, wanted to bite your own tongue off, because it's like running away from you, and then you're trying to your tongue, and then you're just digging yourself deeper. Okay, 2 minutes. And I see, this is gonna be so hard to, maybe this isn't gonna work. Me continually interrupting and then, reading here. Okay, so to say or do whatever came to mind, and a predilection for situations of high intensity. Most of all, I had a name for the overflow of energy I so often felt, the highly charged, psyched up feeling that infused many of my waking hours in both formative and frustrating ways. At last, there was a term to explain the conversation I tuned out of, involuntarily, for no apparent reason. That's tough. I hate that. When I'm just sitting there, because I'm a good listener. Like, I'm a good listener with my heart, but then sometimes I'm like, and people that know me and love me and respect me can repeat the things for me when I apologize. People that don't can be very offended and be like, okay, never mind. I'm like, I'm here right now with you in this moment, and I'm asking for forgiveness and for you to repeat what you said. I'm here. So I know that that's not fair to that person, but the grace and the understanding is something that's so important. For the rage, at last there was a term to explain the conversation that I tuned out of, involuntarily, for no apparent reason. For the rage I felt, and the times I broke pencils and threw them around the room when I didn't immediately grasp a concept in grade school. Good God, this hurts so bad, it's so accurate. For the 7 attempts it can take me to read a page of a novel. For the non sequiturs in my wife says I've offered in the midst of an intimate conversation. For forgetting the task at hand as I go off on the wings of a new thought, or off in search of what I forgot. Right? Side quests. For the love of the chase, the new project, the hot idea, for the love of, for the need for, something highly stimulating and riveting, whether it's doing psychotherapy with a paranoid violent man or putting on a high-stakes bet down at the racetrack. At last, I had a name for these parts of me, parts I had chalked up to be temperament or neurosis. like you're blaming it just on you, like it's your fault. This is who you are. Now, with the name rooted in neurobiology, science, I could begin to make sense of, in a forgiving way, parts of myself that had often frustrated or scared me. I don't like the term attention deficit disorder, although it sure beats its predecessor, minimal brain dysfunction. Well, I've got minimal brain dysfunction. Yeah, I can see that, which is funny because, like, minimal brain dysfunction, does it mean just a minimal part of your brain is dysfunctioning, or that you have a dysfunctional minimal brain? And what's funny about that is I've also said that I don't have attention to deficit disorder. I have attention to detail disorder, meaning that I am seeing everything at all times, and then it's overwhelming because I'm just taking it all in. And that's where my skills as a storyteller and photographer are enhanced that way. And I think that there's a lot of good things about this, and I want to continue this conversation, but I have to go pick up my daughter, and I'm not going to be late. All right, take care. I hope you guys enjoyed this and are down for more reading, and we're going to try to make these longer. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to make this happen. It's probably not going to be regular, but Ivy is in school now, all day, well, until 3. And that's going to give me more opportunities to do this, but it's still going to only be during here before the kids, and I haven't done that yet, which starting a morning routine I know is so important with this. So we'll talk again soon. Bye. Where's the mute button?